Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ruby and Roses podcast. My name is Addie and I'm the founder and artist behind Ruby and Roses Yarn. In today's episode, I seriously have so much to share with you guys since it's been a hot minute since I recorded last. I have a new finished object that you've never seen before and I just cast it on in such a hurry and finished it. It was just so fun, so I can't wait to share that. I also have a new hand-dyed yarn line that I just released that is Downton Abbey inspired, and I'm going to be sharing all those colorways with you as well as a brand new base. And then I have a new blanket cast on. Go ahead and kind of share that real quick. And I have a new sweater cast on, just so much to share and chat about, as well as talk a little bit about some upcoming updates. So if that sounds like something that is your cup of tea, then grab something cozy and we'll get started. I am drinking my second latte this morning in one of my favorite mugs, and I realized that I think I've shared this in multiple podcast episodes, even though I have so many mugs to choose from, but I can't help it. It's my favorite, and it's by Tiny Namaste. She's a potter from LA that I just love all of her work and just all the collections she's released, so it's very special and it's just super colorful and kind of fits the vibe for today. So I will go ahead and get started. So my first work in progress is a new sweater that I cast on that I'm just so in love with. It's kind of funny. It was very much a just rush decision. I basically dyed the yarn, had it dry, and within 2 days it was cast on and flying off my needles. So I have it housed in my Black Pearl Magic project bag. Shayla actually gave this to me at one of the events we were vending at together. I'm pretty sure it was Maryland, Yarn Centric, and it's just super fun. I love how colorful it is, and the neon yellow zipper is just incredible. I think it's so fun and bright, and this is the color of the week for me. I'm loving this color. I just dyed a colorway actually that's kind of matching this, but anyways, that will not be coming until May. But yeah, I just cast on this sweater. So I say just, I think I probably cast this on maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, which this might not look like a ton, oops, upside down. Might not look like a ton of knitting, but for me, this is a lot. I'm very, very obsessed with how it's turning out. And yeah, this was actually a one-of-a-kind colorway that I dyed for my latest specialty box, which was kind of the runner-up for my Downton Abbey collection. I always love to kind of have a box launch right before a big collection. It's kind of a bit of a teaser, and it's really fun to kind of, I don't know, hear everyone on Instagram guess what the collection theme's gonna be and just have more of that kind of community experience there before a big pre-order. So this was the colorway Satin in my Aristocracy box. Unfortunately, these have all sold out. I think we might have one left. If we do, I'll pop it in the description. But yeah, it was just a fun one-of-a-kind. I dyed it up for a day and filled my ovens, and then that was it. And looking back, it was kind of funny because I loved it in the dye pans, but I wasn't completely sure about it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna fall madly in love with it or anything, but I really did. After I saw it on the drying racks and after it dried, there's just something so special about that, and it just, yeah, made me fall in love with it even more. So luckily I dyed a few extra skeins in case I did fall in love with it, and so I kept enough for a sweater. So yeah, so this is a pattern by Petite Knit. I think this is called her Melange Sweater. I feel like I'm mispronouncing that name. I haven't said it out loud before, so I will have it linked down below if you're interested in knitting one. But one of my favorite things about her patterns is just each one just has such perfect construction. I swear every sweater she has, the construction's so on point. It's just very seamless, very structurally sound, I guess. It's just very classic, timeless designs. And this time I wanted to pair that with a colorway that I just felt was very timeless as well. It's actually the base of this colorway. I kind of give dyer's notes here and there. I don't know if you'll love that or not, but it's just something I'm really passionate about because I love just learning new techniques when I'm dyeing yarn, and it's crazy. Even though I've been doing it for 5 years, I swear I learn something new every month, and it's just mind-blowing moment of wow, I figured out something new. So this colorway had a moment for me, but I'll show you close up because I'm probably driving you all crazy that you can't see it. But it just has such a beautiful neckband, and it has this lovely seam on the inside. And then the speckles, kind of show you here. are just so lovely. And I just think the flashes of pink just have my heart. So anyways, that is this sweater. I went ahead and did the neckband as soon as I joined for the body. So that's kind of funny about me. I always love to do my neckbands as soon as like I possibly can, because I just think it adds such a polished look to a sweater, because I hate, it just like really bugs me throughout the making process when I'm seeing like all these open like sections, because like a lot of them, like this part just was like almost double the width before I went ahead and like kind of knit it all together. So yeah, I just love to do it. I just feel like it adds so much to the making experience, because as I'm knitting the body, I get to see a kind of polished look. Granted, it'd be more polished if I took the time to weave my ends in, but I hate doing that. So I'm just going to, yeah, it bugs me more to do it than it does to see it. So there we go. But yeah, anyways, so that is my project. Let me see, anything else? Oh, something really interesting about the project that I've been doing. I did a reel about it on Instagram, and basically kind of is what I've been doing with this sweater is I've been teaching myself a new knitting technique. So not only with this sweater, but also with my blanket, which I'll chat more about as well when I get into the blanket progress. But basically, I've been teaching myself how to knit Continental. So I've always been an English style knitter. I did a YouTube video in the past about how to kind of go from throwing to flicking, which is kind of the technique that I taught myself like about a year or two ago. And it's been serving me well for so many years. However, recently I've just been getting a ton of wrist pain, which is always a little bit alarming to me, because I rely on my wrist for so many things, like at work, like, I mean, even computer work, and you know, speckling the yarn obviously, and then knitting in my free time. Like, I'm constantly using my hands all the time. And so I was like, okay, this is not sustainable. I need to find another way to kind of use different muscles and then work on strengthening my wrist. So basically I've decided to go from like right-handed knitting to left-handed knitting, and it's been going pretty smooth actually. It's kind of been teaching me a lot of patience, because there's so many times when I'm like, I just want some speed, I'm just gonna switch to my right hand, but I've been trying not to do that and take care of my fingers and everything. But it was kind of funny because I speckle with my right hand, so I'm using like these two fingers for like 6 hours a day, and then I also use my same pointer finger for knitting. So anyways, I've switched to using my left hand, and the collar has been really interesting for me because I had to learn how to knit one, purl one, all left-handed, and that was quite a process, and I was just not having it. It took me probably like 3 days just to do the collar because my tension was awful, and purling left-handed is just like crazy to me. Those of you that can do it are like wizards. You guys are great. I wish I could do it. I kind of have a bit of a method, I guess, but it's just really hard. So I've been trying to kind of get the hang of it and just make myself kind of have that learning curve. But with that being said, a lot of my tension on this sweater is really wonky. I don't know if you can kind of see it, but it's definitely not up to the status quo of other projects. There's like massive stitches and tiny stitches, and kind of been making my OCD go a little crazy, not gonna lie. But I also know most of it will block out, and I also know that like I can just kind of tweak some of the stitches. Like I'll have like maybe 4 stitches really wide and 4 stitches really small or something, and if that happens, I try to kind of like even it out just like by using my needle. Anyways, probably enough chatter about the sweater, but I really love it. I just think it's so beautiful, and my base coat for this is the same color as my wildcard colorway, which is currently in the shop. So this would be a great alternative if this is something that you really love and want to cast on. Obviously, if you used wildcard, it's not going to have all the flashes of bright colors, but I think it would be such a wearable wardrobe staple for you guys, and it has some fun little speckles. It's the only tonal in the collection that I just had to speckle because the base coat was so fun. It's just a very like wildcard colorway, if you will. It's just very fun on Surrey as well. Can kind of show you. So it just really breaks apart, and you can see all those different like color layers. Definitely my favorite colorway in the collection, or in the as far as tonals go, because I have another favorite in the speckled category, but for tonal, this one is so perfect. I hope to just get to dye it forever because oh, it's so good. It's like a lavender, sandy gray taupe. It's like got it all. So very exciting. Sorry, the focus is kind of weird. But yeah, I love this one. So basically this colorway is the exact same colorway as this. The purple is this. Crazy, right? Literally blows my mind. So it's like this mauvey brown is literally just a lighter version of this, and it's not even that much lighter, like 30% of this into here. Anyways, I was just shocked as I'm finding this out. And I realized I tried to do like a lot of different experiments because this colorway was turning out like green and then brown and then purple. And I was like, what is happening while I'm developing it? I literally devoted an entire day to try to figure out what this dye is. And so I tried like a lot of my blending techniques where I like blend a lot of dye into a container at once, and then I dilute it into different containers, and it's like kind of a dilution that I'll do, which can kind of stabilize the reaction. And it was just really fun. So anyways, I figured out how to add the acid to get it to time the reaction to create this color in so many words, and I'm really happy with it. So this was just kind of like a really hard base coat to figure out how to get the green, the purple, and the brown to all like coexist evenly and not turn out like pistachio green, mauve, pink, purple, and then like dark brown. Like it was all over the place. So yeah, I'm very pleased with it, and I'm very excited to have kind of figured out how that dye works, because not only is it the base coat in this, it's speckled in like 3 of the colorways from the collection. It's actually speckled in this, and just learning more about how the different, like how the dye takes different forms has just been really exciting. So anyways, enough chatter about this. 11 minutes in and all I can talk about is the sweater. But one other thing about this, and then I promise I'll stop. I'm loving the fit of this. I had it, I tried it on like 2 days ago, and it fits me like a glove. It's definitely a lot more form-fitting than my other hand knit sweaters, which I'm really loving, by the way. Like typically I love a more oversized, cozy fit, but this time I really wanted something that was much more form-fitting, kind of a more polished, like classic look, and I'm really excited about that. So it's the size small, which I'm typically a medium for petite knit patterns for the extra ease that she recommends, but I picked the actual size. So I was a little nervous, especially with the fact I didn't do a gauge swatch, and I also changed my knitting technique, but for some reason it just magically worked out. However, I was not so lucky in my next sweater cast on, which we'll get to later. As for my blanket, I am loving this blanket, you guys. Oh my word, look at this. You know how every artist at some point has like a masterpiece kind of project? I think this one might be mine. I just love the colors. I love the design. This is exactly what I had in my mind as I was creating the colorways, which is always such a satisfying feeling of like, you see it go through all these steps and you're working on it for months and months at a time. There's so much invested creatively into this project, and then not only is it like going through production, but then you get to see it kind of like I don't know, like with this palette, I actually had it laid out in like a shelf I have in our apartment, and it sat there for like 4 months as I'm designing it, as I create like a colorway here and there for it. And it's just, I don't know, all these little things are like added memories into the blanket, and I just love it. So anyways, this is the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose. She's just complete mastermind when it comes to pattern writing. She's just like so detail oriented. Everything she does is just perfect structure, just beautifully written and edited and formatted. It's just, yeah, such an incredible experience. 10 out of 10, no notes, recommend the pattern. So good. I am using my 2024 Christmas Advent calendar. So I design Advent calendars every year, I think for the last like 5 years, which is crazy. This was last year's, and the colorway that's like my main color throughout was day 25 of the Advent calendar, and then all of the other minis are all of the 24 contrasting kind of colors throughout the pattern, and I actually have all 24 featured. I'm gonna see if you can see that. So it's quite wide currently, if I sit back. It is quite a good size, and I'm planning on, and actually like with the pattern, she says that you can use 10 grams for the first part of the triangle, and then 10 grams is what's needed for the other part. So I'm finding that I'm knitting my squares like maybe a little looser because they're taking about 11 to 12 grams. So with that being said, I'm not going to be able to repeat these Advent squares 4 times like I had hoped. I kept 2 Advents, And I know I was a little greedy there, but I just had to keep 2 because I wanted a massive cozy blanket. And I'm just, yeah, loving how it's coming out. So I think I'm gonna do 3 squares and just repeat these 3 rows 4 times, or 3 times, I mean. And then I'm going to add to this section right here, and I'm just gonna marl what's left. And I think that's gonna be really fun. And looking back in hindsight, I'm so glad that it's using a little more than like 10 grams, like an extra few grams a square, because that should leave me with, I think I calculated out about 11 grams, like 11 times the 3 is 33 grams. I should have about 7 left. So that's gonna be a little more than half of a square. So I'll definitely get some good marling out of them. And then it'll really exemplify that fade all the way across, which was also kind of what I wanted for the Advent. Because it's not a true fade. I do that on purpose because I love the kind of way that it makes your mind work, where you're seeing like 3, like a triple fade, and it's just very balanced. I used like contrasting colors throughout and complementary colors, and so I just think it's really fun to kind of see how they all blend together, and having like this brown in between was just a really cool moment in the Advent for me. So I'm planning on, yeah, doing that. But it is crazy to know I have like at least a quarter, if not a third, finished already. So it's such a fast blanket project, it really is. And yeah, very fun. I also am obsessed with this full skein, which is my Villager colorway. It's just such a beautiful, and we have a little progress keeper by Katie of Lock and Lou. She just has the best products. So just so many fun colors. And you guys, this was actually my cast on that I took to Germany, which I can't believe we got to go to Germany like around Christmas time. We got to see the Christmas markets there. We got to just kind of go to so many different places. We went to like 6 different spots, and we were just like traveling the whole time. And it was just incredible. It was 2 weeks in Germany, and right before Christmas, like I said, it was just so magical to get to spend like the season of Vlogmas in Germany. I've wanted to go there for so many years now, and we just decided to make it happen. So like, it was just incredible. So like, this pattern has so many just cozy, incredible memories throughout. And like, this square right here is the square that I knit on top of like, I forget like what the actual German word is for it, but we were at the tallest point in Germany. So we got to see the Alps kind of from the Munich side. We got to go to, I think it's a place called Zapitsky. It's absolutely magical. It was just snow covered, we got to see the sunset. It was just so magical. I have it all saved to my Instagram story highlights in my Germany section, so if you want to check out kind of what we did, but it was just really fun. So like, this memory is just so vivid for me. So yeah, it was a really fun project to get to take there. And this was like my very first project of learning how to knit Continental style. So it was definitely like, I think looking back, really nice that I got to experiment with that like while I was knitting such an easy pattern. However, I will say that like, you can see that when I first started knitting Continental, I was really tight. And you can see that these squares are a little bit smaller than these. I've just been holding it the other way, but you can kind of see that. So it's a little bit like, kind of a bit of a bummer, but I think it's fine because it's just, you know, adds to the handmade quality, I guess, and it is what it is. But I will have to continue working on this. I have it housed in one of my favorite baskets, which I think honestly I got this at Yarn Centric in Maryland too. It was on one of the yarn trucks that are parked outside, which was fun. It wasn't Yarn Birds, but it was just one of the other ones. And I was actually walking by, and Devin was watching the booth because I needed a break or whatever, and I was walking around and I just walked past this basket and I was like, oh, okay, I have to come back and get this. It is perfect. So look at this, isn't it amazing? It's bright pink, bright yellow, like 2 of my favorite colors, and this blanket just looks so beautiful sitting in this basket. We typically have it like right under our television, so it's like really fun to get to see it. And then we have so many mini skeins in here. Like, look at how happy. Isn't that just like the happiest thing? So I have all of my minis in here. I have all of my leftover like 9 grams in one of my bags here, so I can kind of like grab through that whenever I need to. I have full skeins of Villager, that I've wound myself, which is why they look so bad. But they're just, yeah, very fun. So that is my blanket progress. So again, it's the Sweet Shop blanket by Laura Penrose, all out of my 2024 Christmas Advent calendar. And for those of you that are wondering, because I've been getting a ton of questions about it, the Christmas Advents for 2025 are coming to the shop. I will give you guys a bit of a teaser so you can set your calendars before I've announced it on Instagram, but they will be coming to the shop March 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm just so excited. It is gonna be an incredible season of Advent this year. I already have them all dyed up except for day 25, which is wild because it's like just February 16th. And I just can't believe it. So I'm so excited. So all of the Advents are dyed. They will be shipping out mid-October. So the pre-order will go up in March and then they will be shipped like mid-October time. So it'll be the same box as last year, and we'll also be having a Tuft Woolens collaboration, which I'm so looking forward to. She's already given me like we've already been chatting about the scent, and I kind of told her my vision for it, and she's gonna make it happen. It's just gonna be incredible. So the scent this year is going to be like a cranberry orange, like kind of cranberry garland feel. Totally different from other scents of past years. And yeah, I'm so excited. So it's going to be very bright and colorful. It's going to be just such a refresh palette. It's going to be like a lot of like pastel-esque kind of colorways. It's not like completely pastel. I definitely have some of my rich jewel tones in there, but it's a little bit more eccentric, a little bit more like playful feeling. It's just gonna be so fun. And I also have like just the order of it is just gonna be very cohesive. I already like cohesive, but very poppy. It's not gonna be a fade like it was last year. It's gonna be more like abstract kind of lineup. Like I have a pattern here that I was gonna show when I talk about my new base, because it has like a strand of BFL throughout, but it's gonna be a little bit more like kind of, I don't know, like we have like neon yellow by green. Like it's not a fade, but it works. And yeah, I love that. I think it was funny. I was looking back on the past Advents that I've done, and I really just kind of feel like I have a rhythm of like doing like kind of a fade style and then a more abstract feel. And I really love that kind of switch up to kind of keep things fresh and exciting for me, since creating a palette of 25 colors each year is quite the undertaking, but it's really fun to kind of challenge my skills. So very fun. And yeah, Advent's coming March 23rd at 6 p.m. ET. So set your calendars, you guys, if you're wanting an Advent this year. And okay, let's see. Sorry, those are 2 work in progress. I have 1 more work in progress to share, and then I will start talking about my finished objects. So the next, work in progress I have, I cast this one on a whim as well. It was very similar to my, I think, Melange sweater, if I recall correctly. And I cast it on. It was kind of funny. I was wanting to cast on the Staffen sweater by the Creba. It just got released, and I was like, this is beautiful. I love it so much. It's a pullover. She has multiple versions. She has a pullover, a vest, and a cardigan, and I was like, that's amazing. So I bought the pattern, and it was like an 80-page download, and I was like, whoa, that is gonna be intense. I looked through it, and it was just a ton of charts, and I'm sure it's beautifully written. I just was looking over it and I was like, you know what, like I cast it on even. I got like 4 rows in, which sounds hilarious. I got 4 rows in and I was like, you know what, this is just gonna be too much. Like I can't really figure this out right now. Like my head's just not in the game. And I was like, I think I just need a break, because it was like in the heat of collection launch, and I was just like working kind of around the clock, getting the final photos ready and all of the things. So I decided not to cast it on. So I went with another pattern that has been in my queue forever, and it is the sweater number 18 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. Beautiful design. It's one that I have always just like had my eye on. And so I basically am over here ripping out my Staffen sweater, like, why can't I figure this out? But I just need a break. I'm just not gonna do it. And I've knit like charted sweaters before, and I think I can do it. It's just not what I want to do currently. And so I was like, well, I'm just gonna go with an easy sweater. So I literally bought the pattern, cast it on right away. I know my bust size and I know my measurements, but I wanted to add in an extra weight of yarn. Like I wanted it to be a thicker weight. And I thought that if it's a thicker weight, that typically makes my gauge looser, so I went a size down. However, I'm realizing that's an awful move because she wants like, I think 6 to 11 inches of positive ease, which I was like, wow, that is like so much positive ease. I don't know if I want it to be that like loose on me, but I think that is just the design element that originally drew me to the pattern. So all that to say, I have this bunch done and I'm going to be ripping it out and casting on the size above, which is my actual size intended to like what the pattern has written and suggested. So anyways, let this be a note to you guys to follow the pattern, go with the recommended ease, unless it's a designer you've knit over and over like petite knit for me. So anyways, I'm a little bummed, but honestly, this was like 3 days worth of knitting, and like I got most of it done on my day off where I just knit like all the way up to here and like, yeah, the entire day. But anyways, I am loving the patterning. I know that it was a great choice with like the yarn and the pattern, and this will serve as my gauge swatch because apparently when you're knitting left-handed, I'm just so much tighter, just period. And I am just gonna try to like maybe loosen it up a little bit, but that might just be how it is from now on. So I think I'm just gonna try to retrain how I pick a pattern and what size I go for and all of that. And I'll use this as my gauge swatch and see if I maybe should knit like a large. I just don't know. So this is I think this is the extra small. It's her very first size on the pattern. So I'm thinking of knitting a size 2 or a size 3, which sounds crazy, but my gauge is so tight. So anyways, I'll go ahead and show you the pattern. So yeah, it's just very, very beautiful. I love like the texture, I love the color, like this is showing up very accurate. It's just this beautiful coral. You can see like all of these like pops of color. It has like bright fuchsia in there. It has like bright yellow, neon yellow, my new favorite thing. And it has a little bit of like a seafoam green. It's lovely. And you guys, the best part about this design is that I am finally knitting with our BFL base. And I've knit with it before, which is why I brought my Advent pattern to share. Because if you all remember, this is the Advent that I had in 2023, and I used one of my Advent calendars and then I held it with a strand of BFL throughout the entire blanket, and it just gives it this incredible drape. Like, it's just very sturdy, which I love in a blanket because I've seen other blankets like this on Instagram and I just thought it would be a little too loose. Like, I love Helen Stewart's Habitation throw, but I've always been kind of, I don't know, a little bit not in love with the gauge, I guess. And this is, for those wondering, the Anthology throw by Helen Stewart, Curious Handmade Designs on Ravelry. Again, it'll be linked down below. And I love this pattern and I loved this base, and it was just, it's huge. Like, let me show you. This is like a 100-gram skein. It is a hefty base. And it's lace weight. I was like, is that too risky to like have a lace weight base in the shop? Because who knits with lace weight unless you marl it? But then I was like, well, I love marling. Maybe you guys love it too. So anyways, I went back and forth for literally a year. And so anyways, I finally cast it on. So this is using 2 strands of my soft rose base and 2 strands of my BFL lace weight base, which is a brand new base in the shop. So I'm gonna take a little brief moment to kind of chat with you guys about the base. So here's one of the skeins. Isn't she so pretty? So squishy, I love it. And just look at how bright it is. I was so shocked. So BFL is a brand new fiber for me, and it is literally so good. Like, it's a little bit more like earthy crunchy, definitely more earthy crunchy than any other base I have in the shop, even my non-superwash. So if it's a little bit, if like harder, like more itchy fibers irritate your skin, I might not knit a sweater out of this. But it's just, oh, it's so good. And just look at how like the bounce just got me from day one. So kind of show you what it looks like up close. So you can kind of see like it just takes the dye beautifully, and those speckles. So I love it. And this is my favorite speckled colorway from the entire Downton Abbey collection. It is my Drama Queen colorway, and I love it. So anyways, I am using, like I said, two strands of soft and 2 strands of BFL. It's kind of a hefty worsted weight. And it's actually producing the most lovely gauge. It's incredibly sturdy. This feels like one of those sweaters that are knit with like, I don't know, The only other experience I've had knitting with like an earthy, crunchy fiber is Peruvian Highland wool, and it's definitely not as itchy as that because I can't wear that sweater, that yarn, but it's just like, I don't know, it reminds me of that because it's so like sturdy. And my gauge is like, in her design, like you can almost see through the gauge. It's like that loose, which is also why I opted for adding another strand of VFL instead of just holding one strand. But I honestly was like, I really love that because I just love the structure of like a tight knit, which is might be why I'm knitting tight on my left hand. But anyways, I just love this design. So perfect for using, like I said, 2 strands of BFL and 2 strands of soft rose. So it's essentially holding 3 strands of a fingering weight together. And I just think it's gonna be so cute. But I looked at hashtags on Instagram for this design, and I saw some of creators wearing this sweater, and there was a few in particular that caught my eye, and I was like, I want it to fit just like that. Like for instance, Emma Robinson of Woolly Mammoth Fiber Company knit one of these, and hers is just stunning. So if you're watching, Emma, I love your version. It's just so beautiful. So I was like looking at where it kind of falls on her shoulders, and like this piece, I'm pretty sure kind of is like a seam that goes down the shoulder, and then this part I think kind of like wraps around your arm a little bit. It's definitely a drop shoulder fit. So I'm thinking, since it kind of falls here and it's like towards the back, so it's even like a little bit further down like this, I was like, that is I think why it's an oversized fit. Mine is, this is my back panel and I'm done increasing. So like, I don't know, it still looks pretty large, but like it just seems so tiny because I'm like, man, it's gonna fit like here. Like it's literally falling here and it should be like here. So I'm like, maybe I go with the large. I'm just not sure. Or the size 3. Anyways, dilemma. I just don't know what to do, but I can't bear to rip it out. I might just cut it, and I have this section in my bedroom where it's just like all of these like random things that inspire me. It's just kind of chaotic, but I don't know, I like the chaoticness of it. And I might just cut it, pull the needles out, and just stick it up there because it's kind of like swatches, or like the Aristocracy box had this beautiful ribbon that I imported from India, and it's like just beautiful Indian fabric. Like I love like the textiles in India. I want to go there next if we can. I don't know, it'd be fun. I just love, yeah, the rich fabric. And so I have like some ribbon just lined, just like thrown up on the shelf, and it's just like hanging down. It just looks really pretty. And then I have like swatches or like mess ups of other squares that I did for a blanket, and I put those up there. So it's kind of like a collection of all the knitted things that I can't bear to rip out, but they're just bringing me joy anyways. And now I have a positive outlook on how I've reframed these screw ups. I guess I just kind of like have them up there. So I might do that. I'm also using the needles that Devin bought me when we were in Portland, Oregon, at the Rose City Yarn Crawl. And I just love these needles. They are Lyche, I think is how you say them. I can kind of show you. They're bright pink. I feel like they just fit the vibe of this so well. And even has a pink cord. I love them, and it's kind of making me like forget that I don't like wooden needles. I literally bought them because they were pink. I just love them even though they're wood, and I typically hate wood needles, but I think it's going well, and it's helping me to knit looser because it's a really like yarn that doesn't slip very well. Like it's very frictiony, whatever the word is, especially like on the wood, but I think it's working. So anyways, this is the sweater number 18 by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and I will hopefully have more progress of the actual pattern size that I need next time. And then, like I said, here are my cakes of this. Another favorite thing I love to do is pull different dye lots. So this one is like a pink kind of version. This one's more yellow / corally. You can kind of see there. It just is marling. It's fun. I love like kind of accentuating the differences between all the skeins because they're all handmade, and I think it just adds to the uniqueness of the final product. And I have a little notions pouch that also fits the vibe. Both of these bags are from Mabel, which is a brand that features a lot of vintage quilts that she will repurpose and use for bags, which I have not forgotten to tell you guys about the collaboration. I know I've hinted about it even last episode. I still have the bags, and it will be coming in March. I'm just so excited. I cannot wait to show you guys the collab for that one. But yes, okay, so that is my project, and time to show you guys. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that is all my works in progress. So now time to show you the pattern that was a work in progress, but is now an FO, because like, who am I? I literally cast something on and finished it since last podcast. That has got to be a first. It is the Sophie scarf, again by Petite Knit, and it is such a wearable shawl slash scarf. It is amazing. I love this pattern. I love it so much that I want to cast on another version that's very bright. I'm thinking something maybe more like springy for like the spring summer season coming up. But yeah, I really love this shawl. It's beautiful. It has very gradual increases and then it kind of goes back in. I made a slight modification with this pattern. I ended up using 3 skeins of my Heartless colorway, which is a brand new colorway in my Downton Abbey collection. So I can show you one here. So this is like the skein version of it. And it's just like this beautiful like pink burnt orange. It has a flash of navy in there, like that rich like navy purple kind of color. It has some bright yellow that kind of custom blends its own like saffron orange. Very, very fun. And yeah, this was something I knit, and I wanted to take this to Germany with me because I bought this just really fun light pink wool coat from Satin in Paris, and I was like, this is gonna be perfect. So I wore it the entire time we were in Germany, and I wanted to kind of style it with one of the patterns that has not been released yet, because when we were going to Germany, we went to this little village called Schwerin, and it was beautiful there. It had this lovely castle that we got to kind of walk around the outside of, and I got to do a photo shoot while wearing my Heartless shawl there, which I just thought was perfect for the Downton Abbey vibe. And funny story, it was so cold that, because it was just blowing like from it's like on like an island kind of thing. So there's a lot of water and it was just blowing like on us, and I was like freezing cold. So the photo shoot took like 3 hours for this thing. And we just kept going into the castle gift shop and just to warm up because I had to like open my coat for the styled photos that I was wanting to capture and stuff. So it was just kind of funny. So like we had every intention of doing some photos, very casual, going in through the castle and getting a tour, but we just like ended up, I don't know, just kind of turned into this whole big thing. I was getting new ideas, we were just kind of going with it, and then we ended up not touring the castle. But maybe next time, if we're ever back in Schwerin, we'll actually walk through the castle. But we saw photos and it looked beautiful, and it was definitely fun from the outside, just getting to look. So yeah, I finished the shawl. I wore it the entire time we were in Germany. It kept me so warm. It is not only just like such a warm piece, but I love how it fits. So I'll kind of show you like how I put it on. It's like such an easy shawl to wear. You do not have to adjust it once it's on. It just sits on you like beautifully. Like look at that. So perfect. I love it. So it's, yeah, just very cozy. I decided to modify it to make it a slightly longer and bigger. So you can see like kind of how it fits. These pieces I really liked kind of having them go a little bit longer. And then, yeah, it just is like such a cozy shawl slash scarf to wear under your favorite coat. And it's just, yeah, very, very timeless. And I love that you can also like tie these together if like you're doing something where like you don't want to have like long ends hanging out, like if you're hiking or something. So I ended up just kind of tucking it under here some of the time. And then what's really cool is you can also tuck it under here like that. So I just kind of tied it in a knot, tucked that under, and then pop it under here. And now you just have like a cowl. So I thought this was fun. So if I got bored of styling it like a scarf, I ended up just styling it like a cowl, and I think it just looks so cute. And I loved this fit for like being indoors or something. If I take my coat off and I just don't want it to like look like it's like kind of falling down or something, just kind of looks more like a scarf and like a cowl kind of thing. And just like it just scrunches up so beautifully, and you can even push it up even a little higher, kind of give it more dimension. So yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend this pattern as well. And I'll kind of show you what it looks like close up. So you can see it just has these beautiful stitches. It's just so fun. Can get it to focus. There you go. Yeah, it just is so rich. Can kind of see like has all those beautiful speckles. It's just so fun. And so yeah, let's see if it'll focus again. Let's see, sorry you guys. I don't know why it's not letting me. There we go. Okay, I think that's better. We are, yeah, still rolling with the casual vibes for podcast episodes since I can't edit the videos anymore, just because there's so many things to do. But yeah, hopefully you like the casual videos. But yeah, this is my Heartless shawl, Sophie Shawl by Continental. And I used 3 full skeins of my Heartless colorway, and I just increased until I got the size large gauge, and she said it's like I think 15 inches unblocked, and I got it to 15 inches pre-blocking. So I just wanted it to be a lot wider here, which made the ends obviously a lot wider as well. So the length is a lot longer than her sample, but the width is similar. So I think we just had gauge differences there. So yeah, after creating the shawl, I really wanted to kind of complete the fit with samples. And I know that samples can be a little bit kind of touch and go for me because I don't know, kind of like over the years of these samples that I've had created, I really wanted to kind of lean more into kind of slow fashion and making like samples that I know I'll actually wear even after the promotion slot for the collection closes. Just because I know that like my sample knitters are incredible. They invest so much time and hard work and just incredible skill into these pieces, and I really want them to kind of like live on forever. And if it's something that isn't really my vibe, first of all, I don't want to like promote it in a collection because it's like, you know, things that I love and I want to be authentic with that. And 2, I really just want to like have these pieces that I'll love to wear and that will add value to my wardrobe. So I've been really thinking about that intentionality throughout, kind of picking samples for this next collection, picking samples for this collection, and I just went with 3 this time. Very minimal, not including sock samples because you can never have too many socks, so I don't really count those. And they just show the colorway so beautifully. But anyways, so yeah, I have some sock samples, which I'm not bringing to share just because one of them is Drama Queen sock set, which I already showed you my Drama Queen cast on. So I was like, I didn't want to show it twice because I already know this is going to be like a hour-and-a-half podcast. But I wanted to complete the fit with Heartless, and I had a lovely hat made. So this is the Quadri-hat by Michelle Wong, and it is knit in my Free Spirit colorway, which was the tonal pairing for Heartless. And I just thought this was such a beautiful fit. It's just gorgeous. Don't look at like what I'm wearing because this clashes hardcore, but just look at these. And just look how beautiful they are together. And I just think it's so fun. Yeah, sorry the sun is crazy. I literally have a diffuser literally shut in the door. Like I opened it and kind of slammed it in there. So the diffuser's just kind of hanging midair, and I have like just all the things. So I'm hoping to kind of combat the sun. But this is, anyways, such a fun hat. I just love how it turned out. Delight Knits, Emily did such a beautiful job knitting it. And yeah, I just think it completes the fit so well. And so we have this hat, and then we also have a jacket. You guys, it is the November jacket by Petite Knit. Now, never in a million years would I knit this because I just do not have that patience and skill, but Emily did an incredible job. It's actually another Emily that's a sample knitter for me, so I have like the dream team of the Emilys. And she just did such a beautiful job. I just love this. So Emily, if you're watching, thank you so much for knitting the sample for me. I'm just so obsessed with it. It's just definitely going to be something I wear for years to come. So anyways, it's the November jacket by Petite Knit. So I'll kind of show you kind of how it looks. It's a little bit darker than it's showing up here. Like maybe like, yeah, so that's about like the color that it is in real life. So it's a really lovely mauve, kind of bright pink undertones brown. And it's just really, really fun. It's like a deep chestnut brown, but it's very, very pink. Like, let me try to show you this and kind of show you like those bright flashes of pink. There, you can kind of see it. It's just beautiful. Hopefully you can't hear them shoveling snow down there. Yeah, below our apartment complex, they're shoveling all the snow and ice and all the things. But anyways, yeah, I love this jacket. I'll show you kind of how it fits me. Kind of stand up for a second. Try to do this in live time. It's just so beautiful. It kind of has like, just fits me nicely. Look, it has pockets. So exciting. can kind of see like a little bit right here. And then it just has a beautiful like double knit rib at the bottom. Just like the sleeves have such beautiful detail. So yeah, I just love this jacket. It's so pretty. And look at how beautiful these two are together. Like, can you imagine just knitting beautiful jacket and then completing it with your very own shawl? Just very, very fun. So I just love like kind of playing with these colors because this is such a new color story for me. I don't typically lean into the browns. I'm much more of a gray girly if I go neutral at all, but I love it. I think it's very fun, very like kind of, I don't know, classic, very timeless, very fun. So yeah, these are my 3 samples. So this is the November jacket by Petite Knit. I think it's an all over brioche pattern, and it is in my brand new non-superwash base. So I decided to have non-superwash come in this collection on pretty much all of the colorways. There's only been like, I think 2 colorways in the entire collection that I decided not to feature it on non-superwash, just because when I dyed the samples, I feel like it lost the actual like integrity of the colorway. And I just really want to make sure that when I'm offering non-superwash, I love it as like a standalone product. And I'm not just going to add it in as an option just to do it, just because I want to make sure like it's very, I don't know, I can say that I love it because I want to love everything I do. This was a very unique non-superwash colorway for me because let me show you the original colorway on superwash. So this is how it looks on superwash. I think I talked about this in like past podcast episodes because I was just so in love with it. But you can see it's kind of a different shade than my cardigan. It's pretty close, which I'm really proud of, but it's a lot richer. It's like you can kind of see like how this little bit more faded, if you will, and this is very rich and saturated. So I set out to try to match this to the superwash, or match this to the superwash, because I dyed up the original recipe as is on non-superwash and it did not turn out. It just lost the pink. It just felt like it was like, I don't know, a brown that's just like a color from a sheep kind of thing. Like it just didn't really look dyed to me. And the hot pink undertones was what really made the colorway in my opinion. So I had to keep that intact. So I went ahead and just kept adding and like modifying the ratios. So for instance, this colorway has 5 different dyes in it, and I modified 3 of those to increase them by 50%. And that's what did it. So I basically just made those colors adhere. And Rachel of ZZ Textiles was so sweet and just so helpful for me to like, she just was so sweet and listening to my questions and all of the things, and gave me a ton of helpful tips on how to get dark non-superwash colors, which I mentioned before. I literally created this, I think back in like October, so it's been a while. And I figured out a way how to get it to adhere, but with that was so much extra time. Basically like it has to cook the entire weekend, which is something new for us. So it's kind of like everyone's kind of on call over the weekend to dye it up, and to like flip it, add the extra acid coats, all the things. And with that, we had to increase the price kind of significantly just to make it sustainable for us and our team. So these are $34 a skein of non-superwash. However, since we're chatting about pricing, these are $34 a skein for the non-superwash base of Cottage Core, which is this colorway. However, all of our tonal skeins on just the like regular tonal base is 100 grams are now $29. So they used to be $30, but for this collection, we wanted to make them $29 and going forward, because we kind of want to start price differentiating our products to make it more accessible for you guys, but also to make it just like a little bit better for just like our team and just so many reasons. And because our speckled colorways are still $30 and they just take a lot more time, since I'm the only one that speckles all of our colorways and measures out all the dye for tonals. So a lot of it is kind of gauged off of how much time it takes me. And so tonals, I dye a lot faster than I dye my speckled colorways, and I just wanted to reflect that in the price. So yeah, $29 a skein for tonals. So yeah, I think that was everything about this cardigan. I just love it. I think this is a must-have in your wardrobe. And if you don't want to use non-superwash for it, you can use our superwash Aran base, which I have a skein here. So this is a brand new Aran weight base that we just launched in the shop for this collection, and I'm so excited. This base is incredible. Everyone needs a skein in their stash, I think. I love this yarn. So after like using the non-superwash colorway, I wanted to see if our supplier had an alternative in superwash, because I love superwash. I'll forever love superwash. And I wanted an option for those of you that don't really want to have non-superwash products. So yes, we have a superwash Aran weight base that is a 3-ply 100% superwash merino, and it's 182 yards. So it is plump. It is incredible. This is a colorway that is kind of the purple, kind of like, I'm looking for the word. It's like a, not doppelganger, I don't know what I'm looking for. But it looks like glowing indigo, except it's the purple version, in my opinion, of glowing indigo. And it's so lovely. So here she is. And it would just be perfect to knit with in this sweater. So you could either use our superwash Aran weight base or our non-superwash Aran weight base for the November jacket. I think that would be lovely. And again, it's a pattern by Petite Knit, and it will be linked down below, as well as the colorway I used to knit this, which is Cottage Core. And I will be taking it off right now because this baby is so warm, and it is not very cold in our apartment, unfortunately, because I typically have our door open in the winter just to kind of add some fresh air in, because I just love the cold everything. And and yeah, I love the cold. I typically have the window open, but since I have it holding my diffuser in place, I'm not gonna open that, have everything come tumbling down on me. But yes, so those are the 3 samples that one of them I made, 2 of them the lovely Emily's made for me, and I am so excited to get to share them with you. They were so fun to kind of see come together, and we put together a fun little reel of kind of how I styled all of them, and just seeing it in the snow and kind of a woodsy feel was really fun to kind of see that come together. And so yeah, I think that is everything. Now I'm going to jump into sharing my newest collection. So like I said, I just launched my Downton Abbey collection, which features 18 brand new colorways, 9 sock sets for each speckled and tonal pairing, as well as a mini skein set and all the things, really. It's just very fun. I also have the 2 new bases that I was going to share with you, the BFL lace weight on a few of the colorways, and then my new Aran weight base on superwash. So yes, all of these colorways are going to be in the shop. I will have it linked down below if you want to check it out. It's actually the only thing on our website right now. We have all of these available for pre-order, and the turnaround shipping time for this collection is going to be 8 to 10 weeks after the closing date. So after this week, it will be available for, I don't quite know when this will go live, so make sure you follow me on Instagram for the actual like closing date of the collection. But as soon as it closes, then that's when the timer will start for those 8 to 10 weeks, and we will get dyeing those up and shipping them out to you all. So yeah, I think that's all the logistics. I also have a Q&A on my Instagram stories for those of you that would like to check it out, and if you have any questions about the collection, hopefully you can find some answers there, or pop them in the comments and I'll get to your question there. So I'm going to start with, I think maybe like my second favorite tonal in the collection, because I love this one. You guys, look at it. Isn't it incredible? Oh my word, I'm so obsessed. Okay, so this is like my favorite teal ever. It is the perfect shade of teal, and what makes it so perfect in my opinion is because it has these like literally neon royal blue sections throughout, and to get that full experience you just have to purchase it on Rose Cloud, because that is really where it shines. I love this skein so much. It was really fun because I sent a skein of this to Casey of Young Folk Knits, and she like was so sweet. She's like, do you see the glow? Like, it's glowing. And I'm like, I know, it's amazing. So I just love how it glows and how it's just so fun. And so I'm gonna try to share it like on video, but it's so hard to capture. You can kind of see a little bit of it there, but you can head over to the photos because it shows it so much better there. But here's what it looks like on my soft rose base. Kind of see it there. And so it is called Glow Up. and I wrote like kind of my inspiration and just kind of the story behind each colorway, and I have it featured on my website on like in a blog format in case you're not using Instagram currently, but if you are on Instagram, it's the same content in all the posts, so you can kind of read more about like why I chose these names and kind of how it informed my colorway decision in the creating process for that. So I love Glow Up. I think she's so pretty and so bright, but also really understated in a way, because it's just very pretty, I think. And it would just be so fun with like, I don't know, like maybe faded jeans, kind of like what I'm wearing now. I think that would be really fun. And it looks so beautiful with Regal. That is just gorgeous to me. I am obsessed. I think it would really accentuate those bright pops, because in a weird way, the bright like royal blue sections in Glow Up literally match Regal so well, even though it's like a purple base. So I don't know, I think it kind of plays with your eyes a little bit, but it's so lovely. So we have those, and then we have, I'm just kind of sharing my favorites right off the bat because it's just so fun. So here is the like, I don't know, my second favorite speckled in the collection, and this is called Legacy. So this is what it looks like on my lace weight base. And something I wanted to mention about my new BFL lace is that I think it would be so fun to purchase one of these and use it for a fingering weight substitute. So any sort of like, you could knit this like literally in a pair of socks. You could hold 2 strands together to get that fingering weight, because I've heard online that it's great for using for socks because BFL doesn't pill as much, which can confirm it does not pill from this blanket pattern. And I have it like on a chair here with my setup, so luckily it's not falling on me, but yes, it would be so fun to hold this double to kind of get more of that like sturdiness and color blending all in one. And what's really fun about this is that it's going to be a bit more plump than I feel like my soft rose base, just because of the way that it's, I don't know, it's just so like plumpy, like, I don't know, that's not even a word, but I made it one. And so yes, anyways, I love this base, and I think it's really fun as well to kind of give you guys a more creative element of how you want to design your projects and how you want to make that art in your wardrobe happen. For instance, if you like love Wildcard, but you want to add like a bright pop to it, you could marl it with this, and then voila, you have 800 yards of fingering weight at the ready. So that was kind of my idea as to why I really wanted to bring this to the shop, because once I decided that it would be great to like custom blend your own fingering weight, whether you hold 2 strands together or combine, it was just such a amazing option for me. So I hope you guys love that, because I love a good marling, and I really think this would be perfect for that, and just get to kind of, yeah, experiment with it. So like I said, this is Legacy. She's so bright and colorful, and like, look at these sections right here. Just so fun. And then this is what it looks like on my Aran weight base. Has such pretty chartreuse speckles. And then we have like bright pinks, and I love that it's like such a light neon pink right there. So fun. So yeah, I love that. And I don't know, Legacy is just so special. And I think what would be fun if you grabbed a skein of BFL and held it double is that you would have a completely different look than the swatches, because like, for instance, this light pink would blend with like this lilac color, or the mint, and it would just all blend together. So I think it has the potential to be really cool and like a really fun way to get to use all the color in the skein. Like if you don't want to have all of the like micro stripes happening, if you wanted to have it look more blended and a little more cohesive, I guess, you could grab BFL and hold it together. And then yeah, we have Aran. I think these were the 2 I brought. Yes, I do have a skein of it on soft, kind of show you. It's just really fun. And then I'll go ahead and share Wildcard again, because I love this one. It's just so beautiful. And this is, like I said, the only tonal in the collection where I speckle it. So I speckle it to kind of add in that like periwinkle lilac color, which you can kind of see here. It's not showing up that great because I think the lighting is shifting, but I love it on cloud and I love it on BFL. I think it would be so beautiful together in like a cozy hat, or mittens would be really fun. So many options there. And then I brought it to show on rose gold as well, just because like you can kind of see that sparkle, which is beautiful. And it's just such a lovely like sandy color. And obviously I'm obsessed because I'm knitting a sweater out of it and everything. And then we have Ride or Die, which is such a beautiful gray, and I honestly have not created a like true gray, I think maybe ever before. Mirror was an OG color that I like designed so long ago, so I don't even know if y'all remember it, but that's the most similar that it was, like a shade that I've created to this, but this is a lot darker and it has a light pink wash over it, so it has a little bit of those like purpley kind of tones, which are really pretty. And this one, I designed it to go with my black tie colorway. You can see we have Surrey on everything. It really shows up with those black colors. I think these are so lovely together. Y'all have been going crazy over this one, and I think it's because of those speckles. You can kind of see like those bright speckles, and then it has this shockingly black section right here. And then I love how it looks on BFL. It's very black on BFL. You can kind of see that throughout. Just very pretty. And then the speckled pairing to wild card is Drama Queen. So you can kind of see how those look together. I just think it's such a beautiful match. And it's just, yeah, lovely because it has like this speckled section that just matches it so well. Kind of see that there. And then, let's see, we also have this one, and it pairs with this one. Okay, so this is We Like Strong Women Here, which is such a fun one to name. So if any of you guys are Downton Abbey fans, this is like the quote that Tom says to Edith's editor, and she's like a career woman in the 1920s, very like radical at the time, and I just love that like she's a little bit nervous about like sharing her point of view and like her beliefs in a way, and Tom's like, don't worry, we love strong women here. And I just think it's so fun, so I wanted to capture that in like this colorway. And I loved the inspo behind this one because I captured 3 different photos from 3 different scenes of the 3 sisters, and when they each have their moment of like really kind of leaning into their stronger side, finding their purpose and finding their career choice and really leaning into that. So I really loved this colorway for that reason, because it's just kind of all their highlight reels blended into one. So yeah, and the colorway that coordinates with it is Commitment Moment, which is the prettiest like wine purple color. It has a lot of burgundy undertones. It's very rich and saturated. It almost has like sections in it that almost turn black from just the depth of color. And so yeah, you can kind of see like it's very, very rich. And I think it just matches this one so nicely. So very fun. And then we have this one. So this is The Business of Life, which is a quote by Mr. Carson when he's talking about how the business of life is the acquisition of memories, and in the end, that's all there is. And it's just kind of this like, I don't know, very sentimental moment where he's reflecting on his life and reflecting on the memories he's made and the different people he's met along the way, and just how holding on to the memories and like the good memories are really important, and kind of like just to leave them in the past, yet look at them fondly, the ones that you can. So I thought it was a special moment. And it's just this really fun, like kind of pastel pink colorway. It's very, very understated. It has beautiful cream sections. And it has like these bright kind of pops of pink, blues, peaches, periwinkle, rich blue. We have the bright pops of like a cranberry red throughout. It's just so lovely. And this is what it looks like on soft. It has beautiful gray sections, like kind of a washed pewter throughout, really dark speckles of an eggplant purple that kind of lean more brown. And then that informed the tonal pairing for this one, which is my Unshakable colorway. And this one is like, it looks black, but it's one of those that's a tricky black. It's not quite, it's like very much a purple aubergine color. It's just very beautiful. So you can kind of see, again, this one just picks up all the Surrey. So if you're seeing little fuzzy things on it, that's what it is. Since I have them all in a bin with all the Surrey from it. And then, yeah, I just love these two together. It's very fun. I think this would be a great thing to, like, if you wanted to marl it, if you wanted to kind of have that light and dark. Like, I know Petite Knit has a sweater, I think it might be called the Sunday sweater, where she has a lot of, it's just a lot of contrast. Like, she uses like a strand of white yarn and a strand of black yarn and holds them together. And I think that could be a really cool look, like just extreme marled. And I think that would be a great option for these two if that's something you're interested in. And then we have a major earth tones moment, and I don't typically do a lot of browns, but when I do, I hope they're good. This is Brave New World, which is Robert's colorway from Downton Abbey. And it has just like a lot of like mauves and golds and just some dark blues in there. Very rich and saturated. And then the pairing for this one is Cottage Core, which is the one that my sweater's made out of. You can kind of see it just has like a lot of those bright kind of pink moments in there, and it's just very rich and brown. It's kind of blowing out a little bit because my camera doesn't know how to take the bright, the dark colors, I mean. And then, so yeah, these are the pairing for those. And then I'm showing you these two on BFL because they are so fun. And you guys have been loving this green. Oh my word, it like blew up on Instagram. It was so fun hearing all of the patterns you wanted to make with it and just like how much you love this green. Because honestly, when I released this, I was like having such a moment of like, I just don't know if this is gonna work. Like, I just don't know. Like, I love this green when I created it, but it's just so different from anything I've ever done. And I was just a little nervous about it, but you guys just loved it, and it was just so sweet and just so special. So thank you so much for the hype behind this colorway. It is like kind of a very like army green, kind of foresty colorway. It's got a lot of like very true green colors. A little bit of yellow undertones. I would definitely say it's much more of a yellow leaning green than any other colorway I've done. It's incredibly dark and saturated. I would say this is pretty true to life when it comes to the saturation levels for it. A lot of you guys are knitting Christmas sweaters with this one, and I love that for you so much. I think it's just, yeah, such a fun idea. I actually designed it to pair with Ready to Travel, which is Sybil's colorway. It is just a beautiful green. It has like these moments of lilac and dark mauve, and then some gold colors, some bright turquoise throughout, kind of some aqua going on. Just so much dimension to this one. And then let me grab a skein on Soft for you. Grab through this bin real quick, because I think Soft kind of shows the speckles a little bit more. So you can kind of see it has like those bright green moments throughout. And you can see that mauve, which is really pretty. And it just looks so lovely with chauffeur. Such a really rich contrast color. There you go. So it's just so pretty. Love that so much. So yeah, anyways, it's just been very fun to get to just create all these different colorways. I'm wondering if I've shared all of them. I think we have just Free Spirit left, and then I will share Edith's colorway. But we have Free Spirit and Heartless. So just kind of give these two their moment together. Kind of show you how they look. Free Spirit is just a beautiful raspberry red. It definitely has a lot of like pink undertones to it. It's very like bright and punchy. It's just so lovely. And then we have Heartless, which is just, like I said, lots of pinks and oranges, and I just think it really accentuates the pink, pairing it with Free Spirit. I just think that's such a fun vibe. And then we have Edith's colorway, which was the one that pairs with Glow Up really well. So I'll kind of show you these. So I just think they're so fun. So this one, when I announced it on Instagram, so many of you were like, wow, I've never seen anything like that before. Like, it's so unique. And honestly, like, I think it's pretty unique too. I think it was really fun to create. It has so many shades happening. It's literally like a gold rainbow here. We have like a base of like this golden yellow with like a lot of chartreuse undertones, kind of leaning more chartreuse. And then we have this beautiful section of light pink on BFL. So lovely. You can just kind of see how they all blend together, and I'll show you on soft. I love how it just did not blend. Like, you have very distinct sections of speckling. You have that bright blue, and it kind of turns into this like green and bright pinks and navies and yellow and just some aqua. It's beautiful. So fun. And when paired with Glow Up, it is perfection. Again, this would be such a fun one to marl. I think that would just be so fun. Marling these two together would just have such an interesting look, and you would have the gold and you'd have it blended with the teal, and it would just be so different from other, I don't know, other things that you could do with these two. Or holding it along with a strand of cloud. I think that would also be lovely, just kind of like holding those together, or cloud and BFL would be fun, and like a sweater. Also on Instagram, I made a lot of kit ideas for the Doppio sweater. It's kind of going viral, I feel like right now. Everyone's knitting one, and I wanted to kind of give it its moment to share all the different colorway pairings that I recommended for it. So I think it's great if you want some help with like kind of finding different patterns to knit with it, or if you want to experiment with lots of different color. I definitely recommend hopping over there and checking it out. The Doppio sweater, if you're not familiar, is just a beautiful like top-down sweater, very classic, basic kind of look. And what elevates it is the color choices, in my opinion. A lot of people are knitting like very high contrast color combinations, which I think are really beautiful. And it features 2 skeins of fingering weight and then a cloud skein, so like Surrey. I did do a few recommendations of holding a strand of BFL along with it instead of Surrey, which could be cool. But you'll need 2 skeins of soft and then a skein of Surrey on any colorway you choose. So for instance, if I was doing one for this, I'd low-key use these 3, which is Wild Card, We're Together Darling, which is such a fun name, I feel like, and then Glow Up. But yeah, We're Together Darling was inspired by kind of a turning point for Edith in the show. I just think it was really fun, and I thought it was very special. So it was really fun creating Edith's colorway because she has so many fun fashion statements throughout the show. She changes her style constantly. I feel like she's literally wearing all of these shades in all the different photos that I captured. So it was just a fun one to kind of create, and just created a very unique colorway. And I think that is all of the colorways. I hope I got through all 18 and didn't forget any. I think I went through them all. I just wanted to share what Drama Queen looks like on Surrey, because if you can't already tell, it is fabulous. I love it so much. It is like so glowy and just bright, and it literally just glows. So if you want to knit something with Surrey, this is a solid option right here. So like I said, Drama Queen on Surrey. Is just so lovely. So yes, I think that is everything. Like I said, I hope, oops, not focusing. There we go. Like I said, I have so much more featured on Instagram if you want to check it out there. I have all of the different photos, story, base photos, everything like that. It's also on our website, and these will be available for about another week to 2 weeks, and then we will, like I said, shut the pre-order down and start dyeing everything up. So if you're wanting some R&R yarn, I would definitely hop on it for the next week, since that will be all that's in the shop, which is just crazy that we won't have anything else in the shop for quite some time. So, or not quite some time. I got some fun updates headed your way, don't get me wrong. I've got an incredibly fun club that I'm going to be announcing in April, and you guys, Like, this is going to be, I mean, I guess I've been calling this my masterpiece, but I don't think it has anything on this club. It is going to be the hardest thing I've ever done. I'm slightly terrified, but also just thrilled. Like, I am beyond excited for this drop. So anyways, little side tangent, but make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter if you want to hear more about the club, but I'll definitely come on here and share all the details there, because you better believe I'm casting something on with this club. Like, it's so fun. Anyways, I better stop talking before I give away all the details. But anyways, I hope you guys loved this collection and loved getting to see a little bit more of kind of what it looks like together and a little bit more behind the scenes chatter of everything. And hope you enjoyed seeing all my projects. And sorry to tease you guys with colorways you can't really get anymore. I don't know. I used to feel really like, it used to be really hard because I don't know, I get so many messages about it, and I don't know. But I just love my one-of-a-kinds, and they're just such a special product for me. So anyways, I'm going to get started on doing some more computer work today. I'm actually not headed into the studio at all today, which is kind of funny. Haven't been there for like a week because there's been so many things that we've been working remotely on, and I'm going to be just doing little admin things throughout the day, messaging some collaborators, and actually doing an Instagram live later, which will be fun. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me here today. I hope you had a great Christmas. It's been Christmas and all the things, and yeah, it was just such a fun afternoon of getting to chat with you guys and get to share more things about my collection and the projects I'm working on, and hopefully I will be popping back in without like too long of a wait, like I have been doing in the past, but I guess no promises, we'll see. But as far as like life stuff, things have been going really well. We, like I said, went on a trip to Germany. We want to travel a lot more this year, so we have some really fun trips planned that I will be taking you guys along for the ride with. And they're going to be inspiring our future collections, which is so exciting because I've wanted to create inspired collections inspired by travel for like ever since I started dyeing yarn. I have always wanted to do that, so it's just such a special like moment of like looking back and getting to see like it's actually happening. It's just like, whoa. So very exciting. So anyways, all those things are coming up, and I think that's it as far as knitting goes. I have so much more knitting to catch up on and do before the next podcast episode, but until I see you guys again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this hour and 15 minutes. And if you liked it, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will be coming to you with other content like this in the future. I should probably heat this up and actually drink some, but anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week, and I hope you guys have so much fun with your knitting and experimenting with color. So anyways, I will see you guys later. Bye.